true everywhere? What if the stories we hear about Nokia or Microsoft or Starbucks or any of the other great successes or careers, what if it has a lot more to do with serendipity and unexpectedness and randomness than we think? I had to know. Take YouTube, for instance. So there's any number of people in Silicon Valley that was slamming their heads against the wall when YouTube came out because they're like, are you kidding me? Uploading videos and watching them. This is, how did I not think of this? Like, this is just amazingly obvious. Except the founders of YouTube didn't even think of YouTube. YouTube started out as a dating site. You're supposed to upload a video and then, vote. People can vote whether they like it or not. So that is basically an awful idea, okay? it just doesn't work. Now, so one night, two of the founders were filming a dinner they were at, and they wanted to upload it somewhere, but they didn't have any place to do it. And the third founder was desperately trying to find a video of Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. I couldn't really easily find it. When they met up, they're like, hey, you're trying to find a video, we're trying to upload a video, our software does that, what if we do that? 18 months later, sold it for $1.65 billion to Google. Well, you say, that's a startup company. But once we talk about real companies, established companies, then this type of stuff doesn't really play a part. Well, consider Microsoft, late 80s. Microsoft at this point was a successful software company, but not the tech behemoth it was going to become. Now, the reason Microsoft became a tech behemoth, the largest company in the world, by a wide margin, I should say, was because of Windows 3.0. Some of you here that are confused about what I'm talking about. But Windows 3.0 was the foundation for Microsoft's success. It created a platform, a ubiquitous platform that everybody had, and then they were able to create software on top of this platform. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and then they just had to upgrade, right? So they had Windows 3.0, then NT, then 95, 98, Millennium, Vista. No, forget Vista, but there was lots of other things they just upgraded this. Brilliant strategy, amazing. I know people, we were talking about it all the time. How do you emulate Microsoft's strategy? We missed key trends. I think that's an interesting quote because first of all, it's absolutely accurate, but it also implies something else. It implies that actually they were able to predict key trends, at least in a useful manner. But is that really possible? What do you think people said about the iPhone when it came out? Was it going to be successful or not? Guess, just yes or no? Just no. Analysts at Bloomberg, Forrester, CNET, the iPhone will not leave a long-term impact on the market. Here's CNET. Apple is about to come out with a new phone, and it will fail. The CEO of Palm, a company that has since gone out of business, said that basically there's no way that PC guys are going to figure this out. We have spent a lot of time here as mobile phone manufacturers, and we figured this out. We do pretty good stuff, really good stuff. My point here is not to ridicule them, because they knew more about the mobile phone industry than anybody else on the planet. My point is this: if they couldn't figure out the right answer, then who's supposed to be able to do it? This opens up an interesting challenge, because what I'm saying is that if this is not what sets you apart, then what does? And my argument is that it's the unexpected insight that makes us stand apart. It's the stuff that is not logical, because if it's logical, you or your competitor are figuring it out right now. But it's the serendipitous, it's the random, it's the thing that you never predicted. It's running into somebody at a party and having a conversation that'll set you off in a completely different direction. But if success is so random, how can you ever direct your efforts to be successful? If you're feeling somewhat nervous about this, This is the question you're examining. Not only that, let me place this somewhat more provocatively. Is strategy and analysis completely useless? The answer to that question is no. But the reason for why it is no, I believe, is not immediately obvious. How do you know if complex forces have grabbed a hold of your idea? This is the big piece. And you can sense it. I'm just going to focus on one piece right now because I want to wrap up here. And it has to do with surprise. If something surprising happens to an initiative that you're working on, it indicates that something unexpected, something you hadn't planned for, something you didn't predict, has been involved. That means you should pay attention. That means that something has occurred that your competitors, for instance, couldn't necessarily arrive at logically. Pfizer was a mid-sized pharmaceutical company in the mid-'80s. And they were working on this heart drug. And it wasn't very good. And yet the test subjects kept on asking for more of it. Particularly the guys. And they're like, why? It's not very good. It's passed a few more. So finally I asked them, what's going on? It turns out they had a side effect. It allowed these men to rise to the occasion. And they're like, what? That's a surprise. Now, the way most people would have thought of this would have been, well, yeah, but we're focusing on a heart drug. This is an outlier. This is fun, interesting, ha, ha, ha. Let's get back to business. But of course they didn't. It became Viagra, one of the best-selling drugs of all time, and the reason why Pfizer is the largest pharmaceutical company in the world. Once you found something that surprises grab a hold of, double down on those initiatives. And I'm going to say that that's what's been the story of everybody I mentioned. YouTube, Microsoft and Windows 3.0, Absolute, Twilight. Over and over again, we see this concept of if something works, those are things you focus on. The world moves in random and serendipitous ways. Your organization, your career, your life can change in one unexpected moment. I think you should seize it. Thank you very much.